Have you ever looked at yourself and thought, there's no way God can use someone like me? Maybe your past is messy. Maybe you've made too many mistakes. Maybe you feel too broken, too weak, too unworthy. But what if I told you that the very things you think disqualify you are the same things God uses to qualify you? Yes, God chooses the most broken people for the biggest callings. Let's be honest. When life breaks us, it leaves scars. Some visible, some hidden deep inside. And sometimes we think God only uses perfect, strong, holy people. But that's not what the Bible shows. God has always chosen the unlikely, the wounded, the ones who didn't fit in. Because where the world sees failure, God sees a future. Let's take Moses, for example. This man had a stutter, a painful past, and a record. He literally ran from Egypt after killing someone. Yet God met him in the wilderness and said, "Go, I'm sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people out of Egypt." Exodus 3:10. Moses thought he was unqualified, but God saw a deliverer. Why? Because God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. Now think about David. He was just a shepherd boy, forgotten even by his own family. When the prophet Samuel came to anoint the next king, David wasn't even invited to the lineup. Yet God told Samuel in 1 Samuel 16:7, "Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." David was young, inexperienced, and far from perfect, but his heart was pure. And that was enough for God to use him to defeat Goliath and lead a nation. And what about Rahab? She wasn't a preacher or a prophet. She was a prostitute. But she had faith strong enough to hide Israel's spies and trust in a God she barely knew. That small act of faith didn't just save her life. It placed her in the lineage of Jesus Christ. That's how powerful grace is. You see, God doesn't search for people with flawless records. He searches for people with surrendered hearts. The broken are often the most humble. They know what it feels like to fall, to cry, to lose, to be forgiven. And that's why they carry compassion that can reach others who are hurting. Broken people don't point fingers, they extend hands. Paul, who once persecuted Christians, became one of the greatest apostles. He said in 2 Corinthians 12:9, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." That's it right there. Your weakness is not a barrier to God's plan. It's the stage for His power to shine. Maybe you're watching this and you feel like your life is too shattered for God to use. Maybe you've been through addiction, heartbreak, or betrayal. Maybe you carry guilt that no one knows about. But here's what I want you to remember. God specializes in taking what's broken and turning it into beauty. The cross itself was a symbol of pain until God turned it into victory. When you surrender your broken pieces to God, He doesn't throw them away. He rebuilds them into something more beautiful than before. Just like a potter who shapes cracked clay into a masterpiece, God uses your story, every scar, every tear, to show others His love and mercy. The world says, "Hide your pain." God says, "Bring it to me." The world says, "You're too damaged." God says, "You're exactly who I've been waiting for." The world disqualifies you based on your past. God qualifies you through His grace. So, if you feel broken right now, you're in the perfect position for a miracle. God uses empty hands to pour out His blessings. He uses weak voices to speak powerful truth. He uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things. Remember Gideon? He was hiding in fear when God called him a mighty warrior. Sometimes God sees greatness in you that you can't even see in yourself. And here's the truth. The more broken you are, the more room there is for God to fill you. Every crack in your heart becomes a place where His light shines through. That's why your pain has purpose. Your scars are testimonies waiting to be told. Don't let shame silence your story. Don't let fear make you think you're too far gone. God can use you right where you are not when you get your life together. But now, in your weakness, in your struggle, in your surrender. So the next time you look at your past and feel unworthy, remember this. The same God who used Moses, David, Rahab, and Paul wants to use you. Not because you're perfect, but because you're willing. God turns broken vessels into carriers of His glory. You may have been rejected by people, but you're chosen by God. You may have been overlooked by the world, but heaven has your name written in purpose. If you believe God can use your brokenness for His glory, type Amen in the comments. And remember, Your brokenness is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of His masterpiece.